Afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Everett Thompson. I'm your chairman, so to speak. Let me just start off with the ethics reading. Members of the committee are hereby advised of their duty under the State Government Ethics Act to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflict, and are instructed to refrain from participating in any matter coming before this committee with respect to which there is a conflict of interest or appearance of conflict. So I'm assuming nobody has any, but if you do, let me know.
And just a quick reminder for anybody who is, if this is your first meeting in a while, we're going to try to use the participants tab that has the options to click yes and no and raise hand. We're going to try to use that to run an efficient meeting. So if you need to be acknowledged, you go ahead and click the raise hand button. If that doesn't work, wave your hands, or you can also just unmute yourself and start talking if you really need to interrupt and get a comment in, you're not being acknowledged. So, and then when we do voting on motions, we'll want to use the yes and no feature in that participants tab. So that's what I would recommend us doing. If you're not there, you can find participants at the bottom of your screen, and that'll bring up a panel, and you can see those yes no buttons at the bottom.
Okay. And I'm assuming if we get to an item that someone has a conflict, then they can explain that, not vote. Anyway, in your agenda, you have the report of the committee from the meeting on April 16th, 2020. Anybody have any questions on that? I take it none. All right. Roman numeral 2 is petitions for inactive status.
I think we need to do a vote on. Do we need to vote on that?
I didn't know we had to vote on the committee meeting report.
Vote on it. It's the report, right? It's not minutes.
That's right. I didn't think it, but you can correct me, Peter.
You're right. You're right. I got mixed meetings here.
That's right. All right, Roman number 2, petitions for inactive status, and this is Roman numeral A. It's those who have fulfilled all requirements, and we didn't include the petitions, but you got a long list of people there that have done everything they said they would do. Now we're going to add one to that list, John Irvin. He was on Roman numeral 2C, but he's paid his money, so we can amend that and add him to that list. Anybody have any questions on this one? And then would I have a motion to approve these?
Mr. Chairman, I would motion to amend and add Mr. John Irvin from 2C to 2A. And that would make the list to 35 now. And I would move to approve the list as presented.
Okay, got a motion, a second?
Second.
Got a second? All right, now all in favor, you're going to go to participants and vote yes or no. And Peter, I guess you'll track all that.
That's right. Yep. We have 11 yes, 0 no. 13 now.
Well, I can vote too. I guess that's all I have to do there. Okay. All right, that's Roman numeral 2A. Now we go to Roman numeral 2B. And this is a kind of interesting one. This is one that has fulfilled all requirements, but requesting an inactive date of September 30th. So what Phyllis Long wants to do is to wait till the end of September before she becomes inactive. So do we have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Move to approve. Second. Okay, everybody vote yes or no on that one.
Judge Richter, is that a question you have?
I'm sorry. Someone have a question?
One thing I was going to ask about, in her letter, she says be granted effective September 30th, and then she said, I plan my retirement to be no later than October 15th, 2020. I assume she understands that if we do it effective September 30th, she can't practice for those 15 days.
She talked with Tammy about that and wanted it to end of September.
Okay, all right. Just curious. Thanks.
All right, all in favor? Get the votes on that. 15?
I think that's the number.
Okay. All right. Then we go to Roman numeral 2C. And these are have not fulfilled all requirements. So we're discussing whether to approve them upon their fulfilling the requirements by the October 2020 meeting. Any questions on that? As you can see, we took John Irvin off of that list, number 6, moved him to the front one. Any questions? We have a motion on that one?
I would move to approve upon fulfilling the noted conditions by the October 2020 meeting.
Okay, got a second?
Second to that.
All right, thank you all. Now you can vote on that. So we're done with the votes there, Peter?
Yep, unanimous.
All right. Now we come down to Roman numeral 2D, and this is
1 second, Everett. Tom Anderson, do you have a question? Nope. Okay.
no questions. Okay. Okay, we've got Roman numeral 2D. This is requesting inactive status not pro tunc. And there's 3 of those, and each one of those I'm sure you've reviewed. Each one has medical problems, but have paid everything through 2019, but doesn't want to pay anything for 2020 and make their inactive status effective the end of December of 2019. We can do each one separately if y'all want to, or we could do all 3 together and vote on them all 3 together. Any thoughts about that?
I move that we approve all 3.
Second.
What was that?
There's a motion to approve all 3, Everett.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Second from Jay
All
White.
right. All in favor, vote on your participant thing there. Okay, thanks.
Clear.
All right, and we go to Roman numeral 2E, and this is I thought this was pretty unique. A petition for inactive status and emeritus pro bono status for inactive member. So this is Teresa Rosenberg, who wants to be inactive and also be approved after being inactive to do pro bono work. Any questions about that? I thought that was kind of a unique one we had on this meeting, or a meeting. Any motions?
Move to approve both petitions.
Okay,
Second.
Second.
Everybody vote? Yes or no? Have we done, Peter?
Good.
All right, Roman numeral 3 is petitions for reinstatement from inactive status, but they've been reinstated by the secretary, so we don't have to do any votes on that. If anybody had any questions, you could raise it now, but we don't have to vote on it. It's already been done. Okay, then we go to Roman numeral 4, is petitions for reinstatement from suspension. And these are people that were suspended for more than 12 months. There's 2 listed, Donald Hill and I think I pronounce this Ajana Claire Lynch. Any questions on that one? But they fulfilled all requirements, by the way. Paid the money.
Move their approval.
Okay, we got a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Everybody vote. All right, go to Roman numeral 4B. This is something we talked about before. This is deferred from the April 2020 meeting. It's petition on review by the OOC, Jonathan Spence. And we deferred it from the last meeting. I don't know if we have a report from Cameron Lee on this. We do.
Cameron, so you have in your materials an email from Cameron to Tammy, and also Cameron is here to address the committee and answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? We can have a motion on that. What I assume we would probably do, since it's still being investigated, right, Cameron?
Correct.
That we would-
I did want to add one thing. I got an email from Mr. Spence earlier today, and
he told me that he had received a new evaluation. He didn't have the report yet. That's forthcoming, and he had suggested in his email that the psychologist that evaluated him might want him to come back in for some more testing. So I'm hopeful. I mean, at least things are progressing on that end.
So probably what we'd want to do is defer it again.
How far do you want to defer it, Mr. Chairman?
Well, at least October. We may
Motion
have
to
a,
defer until October.
yeah, we may have a report by then we can make a decision based on that, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we could defer to October.
Motion to defer until October 2020 meeting.
Thank you, Jay. Second.
Second.
All in favor, go ahead and vote or say no, whatever you want to do. Okay. I think we got yes on that for deferring. Okay, Roman number 5, this is our pro bono request for legal aid and for PSCI legal services. We could vote on both of those at once if you wanted to, or we can do them separately, however you want to do. Any questions? Do I have any motions?
Motion to approve both 5A and 5B as presented.
Second.
Second. All right. Everybody vote yes or no? Last thing we have on there is the request to approve the proposed bylaw amendments for Judicial District 24H. And everybody had a copy of that. Does anybody have any questions on that? No questions. We have a motion on that one.
Motion to approve.
Approve in a second.
Second.
Okay, everybody vote on that one. Up here. All right. That's the end of the agenda. I don't know if you're, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Peter.
Tom had his hand up.
Yes. Did I miss it? Did we consider Thomas O. Harper III, Roman numeral 4C? Or am I looking at the wrong thing?
I don't see a 4C.
You don't have a 4C.
That's all right. I got into last quarter's agenda somehow. Sorry about that. I'm done.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
We'll also need to vote on the notice to show cause and suspension list that I emailed out. That was the addendum.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The notice to show cause and suspension list that I emailed to everyone. That was for the addendum. Yeah. We can vote on that. It's just a request to issue the notice to show cause and suspension list, which mainly consists of some local judicial district bar fees for, I think it was JD 31.
Okay. We have a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second. Got a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. Yes or no? Everybody vote. Okay.
Good.
Anything else, Tammy?
No, sir. I just, and Peter may know the answer to this. There's just a few folks in the participant. I maybe don't know who it is, so we can make sure we get them on the report as being in attendance.
Yes, user is Tom Burnett.
Okay.
I'll try to change their name so you can see the whole list, Tammy.
Oh, yeah. Great. Okay. There's a CDACC.
That's Colin.
Oh, okay. Hi, Colin. Okay. All right. I've had Tom. I'm assuming that's
Tom Anderson. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to speak up about anything? Well, I think it's time to adjourn. Thanks for everybody showing up. Peter and Tammy,
everybody.
thanks for all your work.
Great meeting, Everett. Thank
It
you.
was a good meeting. Thanks.
Great meeting. Stay safe.